Imagine drinking coffee on your balcony overlooking medieval rooftops, or strolling through a pink-hued European old town, or living in a country where LGBTQ plus protections are so strong you feel safer there than you ever have in the United States, all while paying less than you do right now for rent, healthcare, and even that old-fashioned word, groceries.
And what if your dream retirement was hiding somewhere you never even thought to look? This is Queer Money episode 622, and today we're sharing 5 surprising gay cities for retiring abroad. So let's go. Hey there, it's David here in cold Ohio. Real quick, I want to tell you to skip the cliches when it comes to freedom. Invest in real mobility through the Optimize Portugal Golden Opportunities Fund. More about that from John in just a bit.
So we're going to do this from 5 to 1 in no actual particular order. It's just how that worked out in our research.
These are not ranked at all.
One isn't better than the other. We were just looking for some sleeper hits, as we call it, for cities that we have not talked about before in countries that we have covered, and many of which have been brought to us by you.
Right.
So number 5, not that it's the 5th one in this ranking, is Braga, Portugal. So why is Braga fabulous? It's Portugal's peaceful, charming, ultra-safe northern gem. It has strong LGBTQ plus protections, gorgeous architecture, warm people, slower living, and rent that looks like it came from 2013, right? Back when America was great.
Yeah.
What makes it unique? What doesn't make it unique? It's a pretty fabulous city from what we can find in our research. It has ornate churches, beautiful gardens, and tileworks galore. It has a flat historic center, but quite a hilly outside area. So if you're looking to do some hiking on the weekends, this might be a place for you to consider. It is nestled in a valley. One of the youngest populations in Portugal, they lean relatively liberal and accepting of most folks. It is an older Catholic population. They might lean a little bit more conservative. It's often, though, considered the Rome of Portugal with its Baroque churches. And the vibe is definitely a slower pace of life with tons of culture.
And I think when we were redoing our research, one of the things that we found is this is allegedly the oldest city in Portugal. It was the first Roman established city in Portugal.
Yeah, so some features that make Braga unique. It has a festival dedicated to smoke and fire. What are they smoking there?
Yeah, right.
It also has the city's elevators to Bom Jesus Sanctuary is powered by water counterbalance physics from 1882.
Yeah, which I think is kind of interesting. They use water to push the one cart down and lift the other one up when the water has been emptied from that one. So it's really interesting.
Science beyond my understanding. As for the queer vibe, it's a small but growing queer community. It's very safe with a strong presence of LGBTQ plus students from the local university. There are lots of older, traditionally religious folks who still are quite conservative, as I alluded to earlier, but the younger Bragans are more liberal and accepting. Just be cool and respectful and you'll be fine. As for affordability, per Numbeo, Braga is about 49% less expensive than Seattle, excluding rent. Rent in Braga is, on average, about 65.3% lower than that of Seattle. And speaking of cost of living, if you don't know when you'll retire or how long your money's going to last you in retirement, we've got you covered. Grab the Happy Gay Retirement Calculator in the description on YouTube or in the podcast player if you're listening. As for gay hotspots, as you'll find, as most of the cities that we're covering on this list, there aren't typically gayborhoods, so to speak, and there aren't a lot of LGBTQ plus dedicated bars, restaurants, and clubs. But these places are very inclusive and accepting. So as for Braga, there are no gay bars and clubs that we could find in any of our research. There are gay-friendly spots that are scattered throughout the city, but no specific gayborhood. Porto's nightlife is about 45 minutes away, and it's about a €6 bus ride. Was it? Or train ride?
Train ride, yeah. 45 minutes to an hour away.
As for the visa and residency, we're giving this a 4 stars out of 5. There are 2 visas to consider for most of our listeners and viewers. The first is the D7 passive income visa for Portugal. This was established in 2007 and it permits non-EU citizens to reside and work in Portugal if they have passive income from sources such as pensions, real estate investments, intellectual property, or other financial equity. So again, we're talking about the wealth builders pyramid that we've talked about several times in the past. This is why you need to figure out what your multiple sources of income are, even as you're going into retirement. Another source of visa might be the D8 or digital nomad visa for some of our listeners and viewers. This, of course, is aimed at remote workers, freelancers, and entrepreneurs who want to live in Portugal while working for clients and companies located outside of the country. The income threshold usually requires proof of earnings that are at least 4 times that of the minimum wage in Portugal, which is about €3,280 a month. But this amount can vary from location to location.
Yeah,
or
that's not,
from
that's
consulate
not,
to consulate.
That's not the minimum wage. That is 4 times the minimum wage.
Sorry.
It's fine, but
As for the QueerPat X presence, it's about a medium. You'll see a good combination of expats plus a lot of locals that you definitely want to befriend.
Right, coming in at number 4, or the fourth city that we're going to share, is Montañita, Ecuador. Now, why is this fabulous for gay retirees? Well, this is a beachy, bohemian, affordable, and very liberating or wildly liberating area of Ecuador. It is great for gay retirees who want to be barefoot all the time, walk in the ocean air, and have a life that feels more like sunset cocktails than spreadsheet meetings. So some of the unique things about Montañita, Ecuador is one of Ecuador's most affordable, retiree-friendly. Ecuador is one of most of the retirement-friendly countries in Latin America, and Montañita is famous for its surf culture, yoga retreats, and expat-friendly vibe.
Gay hippies, this is where you want to go.
Exactly. It's also one of the other things about Ecuador is Ecuador uses the US dollar as its official currency, so you don't have to worry about exchange rates. Some of the off-the-wall facts about this area is it is known as Ecuador's party meets spirituality beach town, which is kind of odd because those things seem to kind of clash sometimes. One of the things we did find is that Montañita is a small town. It's roughly around 2,500 people, but sometimes, especially during the high season on the weekends, that will grow to 10,000 because so many people actually come to Montañita on the weekends for surf, for drum circles, for the vegan cafes, and for the big clubs. There are evidently some really big clubs in this little tiny town. And it is basically the place where every night that there's a sunset that you can see, it's a social event on the beach.
How about that?
Yeah. As for the queer vibe, this is a very small queer community, and but it is very queer friendly. It is very open-minded and also very international. It's does not have a formal gayborhood, but the LGBTQ folks here are visible. And they are welcoming to LGBTQ folks that actually blend in with the other expat community and creative communities. Think here, this is this kind of radical acceptance, but not everybody running around with their rainbow flags. As for your wallet, you're looking at this being about 60 to 65% cheaper than Los Angeles. A 2-bedroom apartment is going to run you around $500 to $900 a month. That's oftentimes the ones that are closer to the beach. Expect those to maybe be on the higher end there. The average cost of living in Montañita is about $728 for a single person, which is in the top 25% of least expensive cities around the world, ranked out of 6,950, or it ranks 6,950th out of 9,294 global cities in a list that we found. One of the other things to share here is we need to call out our friend Brian, who brought the Montañita to our attention. There is a gay hotspot there called Casa del Merman at Gay Montañita House.
And so mermaids, but with a Ben, right?
Right. So it's a gay resort, and one of the things that they are doing is they are right now in the process of constructing a new condo/hotel. So it will be a facility where individuals can buy a property there that they themselves will either live in or could rent out in a kind of a hotel style. And get this, these properties go from $56,000 to $98,000 for a studio all the way up to a 2-bedroom. One of the things to keep in mind about Montañita is the fact that it is a very small town. So for that reason, it relies on basically local clinics when it comes to healthcare. So for minor issues, you can have those taken care of. But for more serious issues, you're going to have to travel to nearby larger cities like Santa Elena or Guayaquil, which we did mention Guayaquil in our list of cities before when we covered the country of Ecuador. You're going to have to go there for the more intensive types of healthcare. As for visa and residency, we give Ecuador a 5 out of 5 because it is one of the easiest places to actually go and retire or actually go and live outside the U.S. There is the retirement and the digital nomad visa. Both of these have income requirements of at least $1,410 a month proven income, whether that's coming from a passive source or you're actually earning money actively through companies outside of Ecuador. And both of those have a term of 2 years, but they can be renewed. And then there's also the investment visa. Keep this in mind when I'm telling you the numbers here of what I said about those properties that are being built next to the Casa del Merman at Gay Montañita. The investment visa allows for foreigners to gain temporary residency by investing around 47,000 US dollars, which is 100 times the current minimum wage in Ecuador. And you can invest this in real estate, in company shares or stocks, or bank certificates of deposit. And then, of course, if you have dependents, there are going to be other options there and probably increase that amount. As for the queer expat presence, we're going to give this a medium to high, in part because of this location here. Small town, but it has this gay resort. So there's a lot of attraction for gay expats going there on vacation.
So, of course, everybody's well aware of Lisbon, Mexico City, Valencia, but today we're going off script with the most unexpected, wildly queer-friendly, shockingly affordable cities that gay retirees just never really think of. Not a lot of gay clubs or pride flags everywhere, but it's more low-key, but very, very inclusive. And we want to clarify that when we create our lists, we're not following the script of everybody else. We're not just showing you what's the most glitzy and glamorous. And in fact, we're overweighting affordability over everything else because affordability is the biggest concern for LGBTQ plus retirees. We're also factoring in LGBTQ plus friendliness, healthcare access, LGBTQ plus community and vibes. We're not just tracking what's trending on Instagram or TikTok, and not necessarily your favorite pick because it's your personal vibe. We're looking for something that's broadly affordable and an easy place for LGBTQ plus retirees to live year round, not just for a couple of weeks or even a couple of months.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the other things to call out is that we're focused on retirement here. We get a lot of comments from individuals who are in their 20s and 30s talking about, well, that city doesn't have it doesn't have enough nightlife, or I would never live there because it's too quiet. Well, that's what a lot of retirees are looking for, is something that's a little quieter, that is community focused, and doesn't necessarily do they need to go out every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night.
I just can't even handle that anymore. So tell us which country or even continent that you're considering retiring to when you finally retire. We'd love to hear that in the comments. And as always, please remember to like, subscribe, click all the bells and whistles, set notifications, share your comments, and even give us ratings and reviews to help us reach more LGBTQ plus people on fabulous ways to retire abroad. So let's continue.
All right, coming in at number 3 is Gallipoli, or as some people in Italy refer to it as Gallipoli, because it is fabulously known as a gay area, especially during the summertime. This is in southern Italy. It's turned way up, right? Postcard perfect, old towns floating on the sea, dramatic sunsets, fresh seafood, and joyful sensual energy that feels like you love your life. If you value community rhythms over nightlife, like we just mentioned, a lot of retirees do that, this place delivers. It's not about being seen, it's about belonging. Some of the unique qualities about Gallipoli is that it has an old town that's actually built on an island, which is then connected to the mainland by a single bridge. I think cars can go one direction, or I think it might be one of each direction, but it's a very narrow bridge to get into the old town. This is on the Ionian Sea, and so here you're going to have crystal clear waters where there actually are beaches right there in town, so you're not going to have to go far. But there are a lot of gay beaches in the area. This does have lively summer energy, but it also has peaceful shoulder seasons. It's very walkable, very compact, and it's visually stunning. It's ideal for retirees who want to have sea views and community and a Mediterranean rhythm to their lives. Some fun off-the-wall facts about Gallipoli. The name Gallipoli actually comes from Greek, which means beautiful city. And from everything that we've seen, all the pictures and the videos that we've watched, it definitely earns this. Actually, as a matter of fact, fishermen still catch their daily catch and sell it right from their boats right there on the beach.
Sounds romantic.
Which it does sound romantic and actually very picturesque. In the summertime, the city does transform from this sleepy seaside town to a full-on festa mode. So it is a very much a high season kind of city. I
saw a reel recently where it's like somebody showing a video of the Mediterranean from the Amalfi Coast, and it goes, my great grandparents saw this and decided to move to Ohio.
As far as let's get back to Gallipoli here. As far as the queer vibe, so this is southern Italy, so it's relaxed but it is surprisingly open. It's kind of an area where everyone mixes together kind of nightlife. It's not the separated out. There are popular spots or areas with the Italians and Europeans, especially during the summer months. So you're going to see this influx of people. It also has a flirt aperitivo vibe to it. So that basically means catching someone's eye when you're having your aperitivo before dinner.
You're the only one who would catch my eye.
Right, exactly. Instead of big gay clubs, things like that. It is a very welcoming and safe environment. Many gays do go there for the beaches. So
there are lots of beaches actually to check out.
Yeah, I think the two that we found that a lot of gays go to is De Ala in Comenda. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that correctly because I feel like I'm saying that with a little bit of Spanish here. And there's also Por do Sol, which is Italy's Italian Ibiza. So it does have some great vibes here, especially if you are looking for a little bit of that summertime uns. As far as affordability, you're looking for about 50 to 60% cheaper than New York City. A 2-bedroom apartment is going to run you around $850 to $1,300 US. Obviously, the closer to the beaches you are and the better the view, the more expensive it's going to be. Again, we didn't find any specific gay hotspots here. There aren't any fixed gay bars that are right there in Gallipoli, but there are plenty of mixed venues where queer people feel comfortable. Through several sources, they said that there aren't specific venues. There are some beach clubs and cocktail bars that skew LGBTQ friendly in the summer. Cafe Bellini Gallipoli, Go-Go Bar, and Lido Porto Sol were 3 that we found. It does have easy access to Lecce, which is a much bigger city. We did highlight Lecce when we did the country of Italy on, I think it's a few episodes back. I can't remember which one that was, maybe 616. Anyway, it's an hour and a half away by train. And again, the train is relatively cheap. As far as visa and residency for Italy, we've given Italy a 4 out of 5. There are some residency options here for longer stays. There is the elective residence visa. Again, this is similar to a lot of other European countries where they're basically saying you have to show passive income. You cannot come here and earn money off of the Italian people, that they want you to be earning money outside, specifically from your investments, things like your pensions, your rental properties, your IRA accounts, those kinds of things. You need to show that you can support yourself. And a frequent number that is quoted is around 31,000 euros, which is for an individual. As couples, it's going to be a little bit higher than that. As for the queer expat presence, we're going to give this a low to medium, in part because there is this seasonal influx of people. It is known as a place for snowbirds in Europe, but it doesn't have a lot of individuals coming from, say, for example, English-speaking countries. So again, as with all of these countries, we're going to say you're going to have to learn the language before you go there, especially when it comes to paperwork for visas and things like that.
And our not so runner-up number 2 city is Zaragoza, Spain. Zaragoza is Spain's biggest LGBTQ plus retirement sleeper hit. It's stunning, safe, cheaper, sunny, and it's full of culture without all that big city mess, very contrary to, say, Barcelona. It is landlocked, though, so it's sort of like in between the 3 big places, Bilbao, Madrid, and Barcelona. but you don't have that big city price tag, I should say. It's also one of Spain's oldest LGBTQ plus cultural hubs. It's gorgeous. It's Moorish. It's got a lot of architecture. It also has a lot of Roman ruins. Roman. As for some fun off-the-wall facts, Zaragoza is home to a cathedral with 2 competing bell towers. So that must be crazy at lunchtime.
Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong.
I wonder if they sync it up like that. And another interesting fact is that the locals have invented a word. They're verbing over there. They call it Zaragozar, which means to wander aimlessly but be beautiful. It sounds like the story of my life. Right?
Yes.
As for the queer vibe, it's got a thriving LGBTQ plus scene with festivals, a queer film circuit, Zinentiendo, and nightlife that all goes until 6 a.m. As for affordability, you're looking at about 65 to 70% cheaper than New York City, with a 2-bedroom apartment going for between $700 and $1,000.
That's pretty cheap.
In Zaragoza, there are a couple of actual gay hotspots to go to, clubs and bars. Check out El Pata Cabaret, Imam Pub, and Cafe Septimo Arte. As for visa residency, we're giving it a score of 4 out of 5. Spain's non-lucrative visa, which is clear, affordable, and popular. It's sort of the alternative to the golden visa if you can't necessarily afford that. You can live in Spain without working, requires about 28,800 euro per year per person, which gives you access to private healthcare insurance, and also is renewable annually. The duration starts for about 1 year visa. You have to renew that for a 2-year term after that, and then you can eventually build up to a 5-year visa.
I think you have to you have to have your private health insurance in addition to that 28,800. And then once you start paying into the system, you can eventually, I think maybe after a year or 2, join into the national. I'm sure someone will probably share some details or correct us on that one.
Absolutely. As for the queer expat presence, you're looking at a medium and rising in Zaragoza.
All right, so the last time we covered a country, we did look at the country of France. Coming up in a couple of weeks, we're going to be looking at Panama because some of you have asked about that. This week, again, we're covering some maybe behind the scenes or not as well-known spots around the world for gay retirees, a little bit more focused on quiet life, community, and being able to afford living in a place there long-term. So if you are curious about what we've been doing or how we've been ranking these cities and a whole list of cities, you can go to queermoneypodcast.com/cities or click the link in the YouTube description or your podcast player.
Hello from sunny Florida. Like you, your IRA deserves better than bland. With Optimize, you can roll it over into the Portugal Golden Opportunities Fund, keeping tax perks, building wealth, and unlocking Portugal's golden visa. Click now in the video description to discover more.
All right, our last and final is Korat, Thailand. Did I say that?
I think it's Korat.
Korat is fabulous because it's quiet. It's a fabulously quiet Thailand pick. Authentic, affordable, friendly, and deeply livable. Korat offers big city convenience without the tourist chaos where your money stretches far, neighbors actually know your name, and life moves at a human pace. Looking for that human vibe, human touch.
And I will say some of the pictures that we saw, videos that we watched when we were doing our research here, this looks like so many other gorgeous beach. And this isn't a beach resort. This is a beach city, and you see high rises, you see the beach. It's very modern. It's not like what many people consider or think about when they think of Thailand.
Yeah. So Korat is the gateway to Thailand's Isan region, which is rich in culture and rich in incredible food. It's a large modern city without the mass tourism. It's excellent hospitals and healthcare access, a slower pace than Bangkok, but still very connected. It's ideal for early retirees who want Thailand's affordability, but without beach resort prices, which I don't know who really wants that.
Right.
Some off-the-wall facts is that Korat is home of Yamo, a revered female folk hero celebrated citywide. Locals call Korat's cats, locals say that Korat's cats bring good luck. So there you go.
Are those I know that's Chinese, right?
And it's some of Thailand's best and spiciest street food comes from this region. As for the queer vibe check, it's Thailand level acceptance, relaxed, non-judgmental, and sort of a live and let live vibe. There's no overt gayborhood, again, with Korat, similar to many of the other cities we covered so far, but it's very safe and discreetly queer-friendly. Same-sex marriage was recently legalized in 2025, and it's more of a blend of live and let live, not so much of a wave your rainbow flag energy.
Although we did see a video about, I think, that their 2025 Pride. It was a decent size. It wasn't massive, but it was a decent size, and it was very lively from what we could see.
Yeah, they know how to have fun. As for affordability, we're looking at about 65 to 70% cheaper than New York City, for example. A 2-bedroom apartment goes for about $400 to $700, according to livingcosts.org. As for the gay hotspots, as I said earlier, there's not really a gayborhood or a street of all the gay bars and clubs. It seems like most of those locations venues are relocating to Patpong Soi 2 as well as Silom Soi 4 and other areas in the region. Local cafes and bars are mixed, open-minded, and not terribly crowded. You have easy train access to Bangkok, which is full LGBTQ plus nightlife and all the vibing and unsi that you might need. As for the social life, Korat social life leans community-based rather than club-based. The visa and residency score here goes for, we're giving this a 4 out of 5 stars. Thailand's retirement visa system is straightforward and well-established with clear income and savings requirements, as we're finding with many of these cities. You need to come with your own income. It's the retirement-friendly visa is the classic non-immigration retirement visa for 50-plus folks with $24,000 in a Thai bank account or qualifying income plus healthcare insurance. Plus, there's also the 5-year designated Thailand visa, the DTV, for digital nomads or remote workers. In this case, you would need $15,000 in a Thai bank account. Plus, there is a $300 application fee, but that may be increasing. As for the queer expat presence, we're looking at a low, medium, small queer expat population, but those who are there tend to stay for years. So that might be you.
So tell us, which country or maybe even which continent you're actually thinking about moving to if you retire abroad. Coming up next is going to be our first episode of 2026, where we are entering the 11th calendar year in which the Queer Money podcast has been in existence. We are going to share for that episode some new, fresh 2026 thinking that can help you have a successful retirement. Until next time, remember to work your plan to be fabulous today and tomorrow. And if you want more off-the-wall info, check out this episode on 10 surprising facts that came from our Gay Cities domestic series a while ago.
Bye.